is going to be this session today. And I'm sure this session is going to be an informative and exciting one because it's coming to the most juicy parts. So without further ado, without wasting more time, Mr. Praise, can you hear me? I would like you to proceed from here. And Mr. Praise is a very dynamic technology leader and innovator. He currently serves as Chief Technology Officer at Amana Finance and the head of IT at Roblo Woods. With a strong foundation in information systems, software development, and digital transformation, he has consistently driven the design to implement the design and implementation of scalable, secure, and user-focused technology solution across multiple sectors. His expertise spans systems of architecture, fintech solution, enterprise IT management, and product development. He's also a creator of a proprietary media technology platform that integrates encryption, licensing, and cross-platform compatibilities, also demonstrating his commitment to building innovative and practical digital solutions beyond corporate environments. Praise is also an entrepreneur with hands-on experience on agriculture, practically in fishing, farming, and he applies that with data-driven, technology-enabled approach to optimize production and sustainability. Known for his structural approach to problem solving and passion for contagious innovation, Praise brings a unique blend of tech depth and strategic thinking. His work reflects a commitment of excellence, accountability, and creates impactful systems that bridge the technology and real-world applications. Today, he brings his wealth of experience to guide and discuss with us on global information systems, offering both practical insights and flow forward-thinking perspective. So, without further ado, I would like us to appreciate our trainer for today, to welcome him into the class. Praise Heart. Mr. Praise, you can take over from here.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It was almost feeling like you're not talking
Good
about me.
morning.
I hope everyone can hear me clearly.
Yes, you're audible, loud and clear.
All right, all right, all right. So, as you said, my name is Frizat. I'm just Frizat, and um, um, please confirm you can see my screen.
Not yet. Probably still loading.
Just a minute, please. Just confirm you can see my screen, please.
Yes, I can see it now. Global
All right,
information systems.
all right, all right. Welcome everyone again. Welcome everyone, and my name is Frizat. As they said, um, in summary, I've had some experience when it comes to information systems and how systems work. Um, Global information systems. When we talk about global information systems, especially with today's class, we're going to discussing the importance of global information systems. We're going to be talking about the business models, the logistics and risk management. We also try to cover culture and information systems and global information system teams. We'll talk about the key terms, review questions and application exercises, and see how some real world examples really fit into the global information system we're talking about today. Well, we all know that we live in a smart connected world these days. Cities like Dubai, for example, run 100 plus digital initiatives. Everything they do is connected online, from housing to moving what their watering system to even their farming system and every other thing is all integrated. Um, I don't know where we're going to get there in Nigeria very soon. Maybe with the invention of this VPN and NI, we are getting there one after the other of a centralized system that could connect um, everything. There are businesses that operate across countries globally, and there is a sink in information. We're talking about banks, we're talking about um, um, data-driven centers, and yet there's a sink in information. How did all this come to play? It's all because of GIS. GIS meaning Global Information Systems. Um, data that flows out globally in real time is all possible because of global information systems that are being developed these days. Now, what is this GIS that we're talking about? What is GIS? Now, global information system is simply, in my own words, a system that connects people, data, and technology across the world. It includes the hardware including servers and computers, the software including the applications and the systems, the data, that is information being shared, and the network, that is the means of connecting this platform, especially around the internet or satellites or whatever. Now, think of JS as as a global brain, as a digital nervous system that connects everything worldwide. Uh, for real life examples are things like, for example, companies like Tesla. No matter where you have you've ordered your new Tesla models, with just a click of a button from the new Tesla, um, cars can be upgraded remotely. As in, the technology has passed the fact that you have to start coming in for maintenance and repair, or you have to visit mechanic for maintenance and repair. Always from wherever you are, there's remote updates worldwide. People like Netflix, how do they know the kind of movies that you get to watch, that you want to watch? They recommend movies based on your behavior. So there are data driven from different applications that you use that all makes decisions by another app, especially Netflix or whatever, to recommend things based on your behavior. So FedEx, for example, our logistics is going there, where you can get to track our packages in real time. All these things are possible using what global information systems. Um, Before we really go down into global information systems, let's try to understand um the difference between. Can we hear me, please? Hello, hello.
Yes, you're audible. You're very
All
audible.
right, all right. But if you're not clear with any slide or you need any explanation from any slide, let me know, please, so that I don't go deep down without. I would love an interactive class. All right, deal. Should we go on? Hello, people.
Yes, yes, we should.
All right. So I don't like when my teacher and everybody's just quiet. Maybe you can say, okay, let me ask one question. Should I ask questions now? Or should we wait? All right, let's continue first. Um, so now let's try to understand the difference between global information system and geographic information system. Um, Global information system actually focuses on people, businesses, global operations. Example, the supply chain of a brand, like global brands that make use of that. Banking systems that are global. There are so many examples of the global information system. But when you talk of geographic information system, we're talking about the focus is on maps and location data, just from the name geographic. So things that have to do with things like maybe weather prediction, flood prediction, GPS mapping are what we refer to as the geographic information system. And it's not there are two different things, but they can actually work hand in hand, or they can actually work together. Are you understanding me now? Because through different for example now through different applications, through different platforms, informations that are being predicted from geographic information system can be distributed to what the public. It's still the combination of what global information systems and what geographic information system. I hope you understand that analogy. So let's proceed. Um Um, so why is GIS important? What is the role of global information system in society? What could be the role? Now, I would like to break it down into some areas like one, global operations. With help of GIS, with help of a set of GIS, brands like Nike can track materials across continents. Big brands that are present in different continents or even countries can easily track and keep sync with information about things in their warehouse or whatever. Companies expand internationally because of what implementation of what a GIS or adoption of GIS systems. Then real-time decision making. Um, um, because of global information systems and how data moves in real time these days, and everything is about the computation of speed of data transfer these days. There are faster responses to natural disasters, um, hurricanes, earthquakes, whatever. Even logistics are being optimized. You can see how people are making use of global information systems to what map routes with the geographic information systems to deliver things like your delivery apps and everything going easily now with carrier systems and your transportation systems with implementation of things like Uber and the rest. That is the GIS and the geographic information systems in play. Then um well, let me also try to talk about the better customer experience that you actually even get to feel with global information systems. So there's faster delivery of service because I mean everything is working in real time and you have an end-to-end what means of what whoever or whatever it is that you really want to achieve from whatever service or renderer that you are trying to either by day or whatever make use of. With the GIS, so there is now option for personalized services. So you can personalize what do you call it um even websites that are not built in your languages these days. You can easily browsers that are able to use your location and whatever to detect your language and help you to personalize services. Even your, as I said, the behavior capturing by ad companies and the rest are all personalized services because they get to make use of data information gathered from different words, traces or cookies that you do around the internet. So let's see some case studies, some global information system in action. Um, um, so let's take the case of Netflix for instance. Netflix recommends content globally using what AI plus data. That's the truth. Now, um, um, there are different technologies of 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 of, of the mobile industry, especially of the ad industry, that I don't know that anyone has heard of hotspots. Now, the hotspot is not talking about the internet Wi-Fi hotspot. It's actually another term for um, measurement of infrared measurement of where your eye is looking at in your screen. Now, um, how does Facebook know what to advertise to you at the exact point? How do they need to know? There is integration of these things like hotspots where when they see how long you spend in different kind of things, they are measuring the hotspot of your eye and with things. All these guys doing data, I think that they know about you as a behavior, they profile you with it and what use it for your customized experience with different things like art and the rest. Um, 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 that's how things like Google are able to show you ads based on your location and based on your searches and things like that. So people like Nike, as I was mentioned before, can track supply globally because of the way people take GIS for their or for their, should I use the word organization or whatever. Then you can also adjust your marketing by region. So because of the behavioral study and at least response to how and activity of how you get your response to certain things across the different places, because not everywhere is always the same. Especially in business, not every customer is the same thing. The same thing that if I like, it's not the same thing that you go to the planet B and you will like it there. So with the help of GIS, brands are able to actually adjust like their marketing by region, by customer definitions, and things like that. So that is GIS in action. Then uh so sorry. So now we will talk about the ethics in information system, that is the GIS for humanitarian efforts. So the United Nations use GIS. These are just examples of how global information systems are being applied across the world, different industries or different sectors of life. Um, the United Nations actually use GIS during whatever refugee crisis that they are engaged in for better deployment and at least safer operations, whatever it is that they are going in for. So GIS is also um, the ethics. GIS should be, we are talking about the what should be considered when implementing GIS, especially on the longer scale. Sorry. So GIS should be considered terrain, accessibility, proximity to water, and medical facilities. Well, we are talking about how GIS should be actually enable or should be used to enable um, positive contributions to the society. We just talked about we just mentioned some things like um, different scenarios can and show how giants can serve humanitarian goals, not just for commercial ones that we're mentioning about brands and the rest. So we can use giants alone in our security sectors and everything about that. It's all about application and how we make use of it. Um, so we'll be talking about mostly, I'm sorry, uh, how GIS works. So how does GIS differ from traditional information system? We're talking about the traditional information system and GIS. Now, what is the traditional information system? This is the normal system that is localhost based as in what's the word now? Um, terrain constraints, or what's the word now? Um, not global, just the opposite of global. Now, for example, now in the field, what is the difference between traditional information system and global information system I'm talking about? How do you identify that maybe around your brands or your organizations are all traditional information systems are not global information systems which are scalable and usable for a wider range of things. So when you talk about the scope for a traditional information system is usually, as I said, terrain constraints for like maybe your civil organization or your geographic region. No external connections like web portals and the rest. But in global information systems, it the scope of is usually more multiple organizations and geographical boundaries. Like you can with GIS you will cover what customers, clients, and partners across borders. The data types of traditional information systems are usually structured um, data, just like your manual tablet forms of sales, inventory, and the rest. But the global information systems are actually both structured, unstructured, semi-structured, in different formats from JSONs to the rest, and they are actually used based on what is called APIs, how they connect with external systems to call and receive information. The integration of traditional information system is actually just for internal data management, but for the global information system, it integrates both internal and external databases, internet sources, all into what the usage and application of the system. Um, um, Special features is usually just standard reporting and analytics for traditional information system. But for global information system, it includes things like even multilingual support, as we said, like you see websites these days have some translate according to your location, region, and the rest. Even currency conversion, internalization, making more people to access your, no matter the language boundary, your platforms to access your services. You can see um, things like global information system that things like Temu are working perfectly in Nigeria these days and the rest. So we proceed to how GIS enables global communication and and collaboration. So sorry, just a minute. All right. So I'll talk more. I'll talk more about this with real life scenarios. Yeah. Now, um, I will start by saying how does GIS work with infrastructure? Now, the components of GIS includes, as I've said before, hardware. The hardware that is like your servers that connects what you online, like your hostings or whatever. The computers both on the servers and both the ones used to connect or send your data or capture your data are part of your hardware. The routers, that is your internet source, your data sharing or access points are part of it. Then the softwares that are being used, things like, for example, CRMs, things like your ERP systems, your systems that are used to what streamline or or internationalize your what operations in your business on a daily basis. The network part of it too, including your internet, if you're calling from the satellite direct or whatever, like what do you call it? What do you call this? Elon Musk internet again and the rest. Well, cloud computing. With GIS, you can access systems at any time, at anywhere. Um, your security is encrypted, and there are different levels of authentication for GIS. So you are sure about security and what privacy with GIS. Now, GIS is not one tool. It is a combination of many technologies working together globally. I want us to understand that. GIS is not just one tool. It's a combination of what many technologies working together globally. I hope you understand that clearly. Now, um, so how does GIS actually enable communication and collaboration? Um, from integration of operations to real-time communication to access to global information to standardization of processes to cost reduction to customer satisfaction. These are all things that want application of the integration of GIS into the um, system can actually bring about for you. Now, on your brand. Um, um, so, so we'll talk about the how GIS helps to improve decision making, how well financial systems help to improve decision making, either within corporate societies or for humanitarian needs or whatever. How does GIS help to improve decision making? One is visualization of spatial data. So geographic information system enables things like interactive maps, charts and dashboards. Spatial analysis reviews patterns and trends in geographic data to get better decisions, and which are also distributed using what informations that are globally connected or systems that are globally connected. Um, in scenario models and predictive analysis. So it's with the help of giants that even things like AI are working. It's with the help of access information on real time and speed that is like we are able to understand things like predictive analysis. That is more of GPT, generative predictive whatever. Now, even for your geographic context, understanding how location impacts operations for your whatever, for your brand or for your personality or whatever, understanding where to get things from, where are all how global information helps you what make your decisions faster, better, and clearer. Um, so let's look at the case study, which is um, Los Angeles emergency response. So Los Angeles uses GIS to visualize population density, land use, and routes, connects to global resources, e.g., earthquake preparedness lessons from Tokyo. So with the help of because of data that happened from the past and what they are studying and what people are studying and how the information are being passed, a lot of predictions are being known about food environment that you are, and a lot of disasters are being able to be what less what severe because of how response have been taken as a result of this information that they had. So yeah, we've talked about this. We talked about this about the global information system, where I talked about the different consistent connections of different parts of global information system. Where I talked about the hardware, the software, the networks, the security, and the cloud computing. These are all the things that consist of what a global information system. So um, so let's see how these different parts of the GIS actually play roles in the GIS ecosystem, or how we prefer to call it, the GIS systems, the GI systems. So um Starbucks, people like Starbucks, who knows about Starbucks? Starbucks is an international food brand company too that uses what GIS optimize its global coffee supply chain. Um They do this by mapping coffee farms and tracking products quality at origin. As they assess, they use these GIS applications to assess climate change risks in supply chains and uh, therefore improving efficiency, reducing costs, and supporting sustainability of the brand. So they have softwares, the SEM software, and uh, and other GI systems that they use to create what competitive advantage over their what um, competitors and make them continue staying in business worldwide and globally without what with a structured process and something that actually works for them. So uh, let's talk about designing a GIS system. How do you design a GIS infrastructure? So the first thing is to understand business needs. To understand the business needs. So you have to assess the size, the geographic distribution, the operational scope, the informational needs of the business. Then the next thing is to set clear goals. Be smart. What is smart? Smart is specific, measurable, accountable, things that you use to measure KPIs and rest. So set clear goals. That is, let them be measurable, specific, and accountable goal that you are able to set to make sure that your KPI that will be tracking what this information system you're doing is going to achieve. Identify tech requirements. Understand what is the tech, because I remember I just told you, just not just one thing. Locally the combination of different tech platform systems to get into the this thing. So As I was saying, hello, can we hear me, please?
Yes, we can
Hello,
hear
can I?
you.
All right, are we together? I hope I'm not too fast. I hope you're all understanding.
Yes, we are understanding.
Any questions for me so far? Any
No
question for
for
me so
now.
far?
No
All
for
right,
now.
all right, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we continue. Um, so um, so I was talking about how to design the GIS system. So we mentioned the first two things to take care of, the first two steps to take care of, or the first three steps. So we should understand the business needs. We should set clear goals and be smart about it. We should identify the tech requirements required to set up that um, 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 system that will solve the goals that we set up in number two. We should choose the tools. So it's not about just looking for one fit that does all. If it has to be with a combination of different tools that you're going to use to achieve what it is that the business needs from your clear goals, how you can really achieve it. You can make use of multiple tools, adopt tools that will be required to achieve um, your ideal GIS. Um, so after you choose tools, you design the system, of course. So you design your custom what do you call it, um, template, your custom infrastructure that is going to fit for exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve. Then um, you then start the phase implementation. That is the UATs, the test phase, the pilot phase, where you you use it to gather bugs or even learn how your system will interact in real time situations and things like that. Then it does not stop even after building the system, it does not stop you to train the users. The users have to make the system how to be trained about it. That this was the system that was being developed for example now in the health sector or in the whatever sector you there's babies. For example, let's talk about the health sector now. For example, your HMOs applications. So those are also global information systems that connects different services from around the world, including AI, including real-time customer services, including doctors from around the world, including pharmacies and different. So you have to sit train the users to understand what this your application, this your software, this your system can actually do for them. Then you have to continuously monitor the system for maintenance purposes, for security patches, because everything is not a one fit and drop it there. You must actually continue on that carrying out specific and routine maintenance. Then also your feedback, a customer satisfaction for your GIS. You're creating this GIS for a customer. It's for the use of people. It's for the use of both, even if it's for yourself, for the use, it's to be used by people. Always get feedback from these users, from these people that are stakeholders in your GIS to know where can be improved, where can be continuously um um evolve to achieve better goals and be more what do you call it, be more productive. So just as a key idea, I want you to take this out as a key idea for this class. Just know that you don't build everything at once. For a GIS, you can never build everything at once. You have to test, learn, and improve. So the first thing first is to build the skeletal MVP before you keep improving on it from the different testing and what you learn from the test you carry out. So what are the challenges of managing a GIS system? One of the challenges is data issues. Data issues. Now, because of the fact that this is global information, remember when we were talking about in the beginning, now the data is being stored and translated. The measures of formats like JSONs and the especially with API interoperability, that is intercommunication between different systems. The more systems are being built to interact with other systems, the more there will be data interoperability issues. Because some system might be easily connecting with data like JSON or structured data, while some of them might be needing structured data to communicate and so there must be a way to balance up or to sync or to adjust um, the data issues that are going to be experiencing between different systems. Another thing is security risks. Now, because of the fact that more systems are being connected to other systems, to other servers are being connected to servers. There are risks of where people were malicious content to try and get access to information that are not meant to get just for malicious purposes. Then the another challenge is that we worried about with the giants infrastructure is high cost. Yes, it actually takes a lot to create a giant, not to talk about the programming or the development cost, even the server hosting and the API cost of things like that. So the GIS systems might be using a lot of consuming a lot of APIs, including emails, SMS, etc. and the rest. So all this is actually cause suspicion. Even your server hosting has to be very solid and even if you're going to use microservices, you pay for those things according to consumption of the rest. So it could be either expensive or at the high side to maintain. But the on the long run, if you notice that it's better or saves you more cost, why don't you don't try consider them? Another thing that you should be worried about to try systems is infrastructure and scalability. Systems must grow with businesses. So if what you're building is not possible to grow, to expand, while your businesses expand, that means you are actually not doing something right. And it should be a point of concern when creating a GIS, the scalability plan of the GIS. So are we together? Hello people.
Yes, we are together.
All right, thank you. So um before I proceed, so there is a worry about giant system too, because you can see the real life cases where countries these days get to target other countries just to either bring down a particular server or shut down the network or something, and we hear different groups claiming it. So cyber attacks have become rampant because of GIS. So security is a very critical thing when talking about GIS. So now, when we talk of GIS, is it that you should you should build your own GIS or buy your own GIS? Should you outsource your GIS or you should build your custom GIS? Now, if you build in-house, if you build for your brand, the GIS for your brand in-house, yeah, there are benefits to it. You have full control and you can custom fit anything you want, but it's actually costly and time consuming because it's going to take months and months to actually build test and finally have a product that you are satisfied with, like before you implement fully for live production. Um, um, if you buy or outsource your GIS, you be leveraging the vendor expertise. You don't need to you have saved your HR the stress of hiring people with that expertise and but they may not actually fit to your particular need because because they're not in-house. The communication is limited and there are so many other things that might not just fit exactly to what it is that you have in mind. The key question for both is what are here to do when you should ask yourself either should I go for a buying my GIS for my brand or my platform or whatever or should I build one for myself is you should ask some questions like what are the year over year costly outlays. So if I'm building what is that the repeatable costs that I might be facing if I'm outsourcing, what are the purpose I'm facing? Is there a way for me to scale this platform in the future? So what if I choose to start doing this? Can this platform be able to easily integrate to collect payments around the world? Those kind of things are things that you just should think about before deciding what kind of GIS to use, whether a custom built one or the one you are sourcing. Your data migration is, if you decide to change the platform, how will you be able to see access to data to migrate it easily for other information or for other to migrate to understand data protection rights and now it affects other your
All right, we're so sorry about the break. I think Mr. Prui's network actually glitched. So please let's give him a moment to join back on the call.
Hello, can you hear me please?
Yes, we can
Hello?
now. Your network actually tripped.
Yeah, sorry
Yes,
about
we
that.
can hear you.
Sorry about that. So confirm you can see my screen too. Confirm you can see my screen too, please.
Yes, you can see your screen now.
All right. All right. So as I was saying before, I don't know what happened to the network. But as I was saying, um, um, so these are the considerations you should take when you are actually trying to include or adopt a GIS. Either you should buy or you should um videos. These are the considerations that you should actually be looking at. Then the best practice, something that you should just take out is this. Assess existing before you build anything. First of all, assess the existing IT infrastructure that tries to cover your or have a definition of what it is that you need. And if it's possible, even if it has as little as what it is that you need, you can actually, especially if it's what's called an open source system, you can actually use it and get the report to actually make it better or integrate what you need to customize. But it depends again on the kind of integration and customization. There are some customization that you might be needing that is better for them to just start on by them from scratch. So these are points to be noted when you're trying to decide um, um, what to do or what to use. So let's look at some key terms that you always meet or you always see when we talk about GISs. Um, so the word global information system first of all, of course, is as I have mentioned before, it's an intricate network of what hardware, software, and data and networking infrastructure that enables worldwide information management. Another word, GIS infrastructure. These are the frameworks, the sets of tools, both hardware and software, data storage, and every other thing that supports any GIS operations. Predictive analysis. What are predictive analysis? Predictive analysis is the use of statistical algorithm to identify patterns and make predictions to enhance operational results. So as we can see that GIS actually um, carried out a lot of high-level predictive analysis for decision makers and rest. But what is spatial analysis? Spatial analysis is actually the process of examining patterns. So you take things accordingly to different action or different logs and examine, analyze it to gain or insight of about behavioral conduct or usage conduct or whatever of a particular uh, platform or whatever. So another key term you should be looking out for are things like interoperability standard. Interoperability standard. Interoperability standard is the ability for two or three systems to actually connect seamlessly and exchange of data and the rest seamlessly. That's when we talk about things like API integrations and whatever. Then another key term you should that agencies, things like resource utilization. So how these connections even when because we are using different because different systems have to connect to different systems. There's what's called resources usage. So what are the RAMs? What are the system? What are the storage that that is going to affect me connection to this system? If it's something that's going to be uh more costly on my side in terms of materials, kind of in terms of sources, in terms of money, in terms of time, then you don't want a good um, 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 you know what a good system to be to actually to be integrated with for a global system. So the resource transition has to be at least minimal for systems within the GIS infrastructure. So so let's talk about GIS business models, logistics, and risk management. Um, so what is e-business? E-business is simply doing business online and globally. That's simply business. Doing business online and globally. Um, the types of business of e-business we have. What are the types of e-business we have? There are the business to customer model where business is sent directly to customer agents, so Amazon, Zapo, uh, uh, web brands actually sell directly to customers. There's a business to business model that is B2B. This is where business sells other businesses. For example, Salesforce, Zoho, Smart Sheets, and the rest. Google Workforce, and Microsoft Teams, and other things. There's a consumer to consumer. There is things like where consumers sell to other consumers by platform. For example, your GG in Nigeria, your eBay, your Craigslist, they are all C2C model for e-business. There is a B2G, that is business to government, where businesses actually supply goods or services to government. For example, contract suppliers like military that supply their camels and the rest, or construction workers that actually get to build bridges for the government. Then the government to consumer, that is the government to consumer model for e-business too, where the government provides services directly to citizens. For example, this is our NIS tax portal that is online that you have to go and file for your taxes and every other things. Your application for your driver license, your application for your international passports and all that things. When you take it online or try to apply for it online, already make use of the G2C model for e-businesses. Um, um, why does it matter for us to talk about this? Because it helps to understand that businesses can be 247 online now, and depending on um about what they can do. You can also have global reach now with GIS, and it will even cost lower than imagine having a physical presence in all the different places that you'll be accessing your services or the regular services too. So so we'll talk about uh, the global logistics are moving goods across the world. That is how GIS helps with global logistics and supply chains. Now, what is logistics? Logistics is simply what moving goods across countries or carrier or countries. Now, there are different models there are different logistic models that are being applied or that have been derived because of the study of GIS. Things like the JIT models. The JIT models meaning just in time. they are the just-in-time models actually uh, 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 model that delivered only when needed. With this kind of model, the brand saves cost and risky if supply fails. Actually, it's very risky. For example, it's just-in-time models are this your Uber style or your boat style of career where you order on need when you really need it. So there are platforms that just there when you really need just like the services you get to order them. Then there are the 3PL model. The 3PL model is actually also called the outsourcing model where you hire a external logistics company. So they are the one that you should that are going to follow and track from your um, boost availability to boost readiness for transportation to even transporting it and make sure that you get it. So that is called the 3PL logistics model. We talked about the just-in-time GIT logistics model. We talked about the 3PL. Then the hub and spoke. The hub and spoke is actually a central hub distributes that is actually a central hub that distributes goods. So things like Jumia where you have all the products being ordered or together all brought into your home and then distributed from the other to the customer's place at the hub and spoke model of logistics. Are we together? Hello, am I there? Hello, people.
Yes, we're with you.
Yes, we are with you. We are together.
Oh, okay. All right. So, so we hope we just talked about now the different logistics model, the just-in-time logistics model, the 3PL third-party logistics model, the hub and spoke logistics model, and
So you drop where
the reason. Please, who is that? You can mute yourself, please. Hello. Okay, let me continue then. So um So let's talk about the supply chain management models. So we talk about GIS in production, in brand, logistics. So what about in the supply chain management? Just in supply chain group, whatever.
Your network is
Now,
breaking. I can't hear you properly.
can you hear me now? Sorry, hello.
Yes, yes, it's better now.
All right, sorry about that. So as we were saying, the supply chain management models, using geo, there are different models from the continuous flow to the fast chain to the efficient chain to the agile to the flexible. Now, this continuous flow, which is more still demand and standardized goods, um, 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 for things like fast chain supplies for things like products that are usually short life cycles, like your fashion brands or things that go out of style and new styles come up and the rest. Then the efficient chain for things like that are like tight margin industries. So things like your your brands like all of the um, uh, like your own fuel industries that requires forecasting, make use of the efficient chain model. Then it's agile. The agile will actually includes the high value specialty products. So when sometimes you hear people say working in agile. So this is more of um, uh, uh, all of it now, people working in special according to their division of labor. All of it how that put it out to make it related with what I'm talking about. Anyway, if I can think of it, I'll say it out. So there's also the flexible model, as I said. So depending on the variable, it will on the demand, the supply will determine. So it's just more of a variable demand pattern, and it goes up and down with demand. So when there's more demand, for example, things like your 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 urgent your urgent care. There are things like for example uh things like all I put out those marks depending to build pattern. We can remember when the demand were way more than the supply in country movement, and everything was and even the price of everything determined by the demand. So those kind of things stuff that use your flexible model for supply chains. Um, the effective supply chain management. The effective supply chain management. Now, um, sourcing, procuring, producing, and delivering goods with while optimizing cost, quality, and delivery. Sorry, just a minute. So, so, with with GIS, you be able to understand. You should be able to if you want to apply GIS to your supply chain goal in your brand, you be able to think about something that will deliver the right product to the right place at the right time for the lowest cost possible. So that is how GIS helps to determine decisions that you could use to apply to your to your supply chains and the rest. So these are some of the ways that you can apply GIS to making some decisions. You can use historical data, market trends, and customer insights to align products with the demands and the rest. So let's talk about risk management. How um how GIS can also be um, applied into risk management for the enterprise risk management system. Now the purpose of 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 VRM is to identify risks early and prevent disasters. Now, but the challenge is that an area could have is cultural differences. So what can be determined as unsafe in some cultures might not be determined as safe in some cultures. Um, the data silos, so the fact that data, um, um, data that just go run and run and run without really for anything because of the data silos. Um, I just keep circulating without data that just keep circulating without being really integrated, without really being applied. Are really big challenges of the enterprise risk management system that giants could develop. But also when we use digital development system, sometimes it's usually a complex system which requires uh, dedicated resources like personnel now, specialists, such softwares, and the rest. So, but it is a good thing to understand that with if your if your enterprise risk management is built globally and it helps to identify and mitigate threats and protecting reputation and building resilience. So let's take a case study of take a case study of the non-player malware shutdown that happened in MEX. MEX, MEX is our Java company, I think. Yes, they are into heavy duty productions. and engineering. And they have a global information system across different continents. But something happened where a malware called Nokia was used to close terminals, shipping schedules were interrupted, and it all happened. And that was a wake up call to many brands and 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 businesses with the GIS to really step up their security and adding rules and regulations around what's their information system, especially the technology part of the information system. So we can see it's something that should really be implemented or done rightly and well thought of. So we continue to we've mentioned most of this, so okay, we just want to refresh our memories with some of our key terms we've mentioned so far. So we could talk about global business, we talked about global enterprise strategy, we talked about the global logistics information system, we talked about the global supply chain management, we talked about just in time, which is a model for logistics and the rest. So let's talk about culture, the culture in information systems and global information system. The culture, the culture in information system and global information system. Now, um, what is culture? Culture is a set of rules and beliefs that shape people's thinking and attitudes. Of course, the way of life. For some people, you remember what the teachers in social studies. Culture affects whether people embrace or resist new technology. Um, there are visible traits to culture, that's like national culture, which are like the shared values, the beliefs and norms shaping how people work outside. The personal culture, which is your own unique experiences, what you've decided to live by, your own beliefs, your own personal traits, affecting tech engagement. Um, Culture also shapes values and beliefs, of course, and normal practices around different societies. Um, um, There are some visible cultural icebergs that we should talk about. Now, one is the language, yes, and the other one is the interface. Those are the two visible elements that culture can really affect. But there are some hidden elements that culture also affects in adoption or usage of global system. Things like trust. Does this, for example, now in some countries that do not trust some particular US brands, for example, China does not use things like Facebook or whatever because it's the easiest company in their country. Just like beliefs, what they believe around this system and how it operates, it could determine the adoption of what government system in that place. Just like the attitude, what is the attitude to people and the normal attitude is does it relate? Does it tally with the process of using this global information system, or is it something that has to innovate the wheel from scratch and to take the time for them to understand the process or whatever. So those are the factors that actually get to um to determine how culture impacts on information systems, language barriers, resistance to change, different communication styles, uh, 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 challenges that we face. So this is what we just talk about right now. We talked about the physical elements of which something about that makes culture uh, affect information systems. We talk about it like language, user interfaces, and basic norms sort of things. For example, you cannot give um, a Nigerian man a laptop with a German keyboard. It's more like rendering useless to run. So those kind of things are also things like that. Then um, why does this matter? Why are we talking about it? So information system designers and managers must address both the surface and the deep cultural factors to achieve effective technology adoption globally. So they must be able to find a balance between what culture across for a more global what adoption of information systems. That is what I'm talking about it and the necessity of it. So so uh uh we said the cultural and technology adaptation. So there are we mentioned this over and over and again. But let's just expatiate on it more. So things that could affect what technology adoption by culture, things like communication barriers, things like cultural resistance to change. There are some groups that may resist technology because of maybe it affects one thing like spiritual belief or something like that. It happens. There are some cultures that may misunderstand some things. Um, Different interpretation of behaviors can lead to conflict and breakdown in cooperation. So there are various things that can determine the adoption of technology within the culture. So cultural factors that affect technology adoption are people's ability to be able to innovation, um, the the system itself being able to support multiple languages, um, the the fact that information being rendered to these people or to the users are not foreign, they are more of like localized and is more they can relate to what they are seeing visually and data is more localized. So these are things that can improve the adoption of technology across. Then um, um, how to identify cultural barriers in technology. So there are some key notes to take note of when you are trying to introduce a new technology within a particular culture, be it within a country, or be it within a country, or be it within a continent. You need to first and foremost conduct cultural assessments, use surveys, ask questions, ask people, ask groups, use questionnaires, interview people to understand what is this community reaction to things like this, if they see it. You cannot just go and bring um, um, what do you call it, something that people might not relate to and just expect everybody to have a force of it because of the issue that created it. No, you should also analyze communication styles that observe employees and use feedback mechanisms, uh, analyze communication styles. So, what, well, even if you're not, even if you're one man team, even if you have consultants, even if you have people that are working on you, try to understand um, um, the communication style, especially if you're a person that also you're not that approachable for people to tell you how they feel. They'll be able to tell you that Ross, and at this point there's something wrong with this thing. Let us rearrange. So let's underline people's communication styles and get feedbacks, as you said, and try to reduce the barriers in our communication patterns. So, skill assessment. The, so, to evaluate correct technical skills and identify cultural factors that affect training needs and adoption. So, um, um, once the system can be taught without the problem of barrier with understanding, the system that go global. That's what that person is trying to say. So evaluate organizational culture, use cultural audits, past implementation lessons and expert insights on cross-cultural communication. Then always use pilot tests before anything is really launched. Do a soft launch. Test technology on a small scale first. See how it gathers, how it works, and gather feedback. That's the way to or or or, or break barriers in culture and technology adaptation. So we'll talk about the model. Hostile model is a framework for information system teams to actually have a look when creating an information system. What does the Austin model do? Let us simplify it from what you're saying there. It measures power distance, it measures individualism, it measures risk tolerance. It helps to design systems for different countries. The Austin model helps to design IS for IS construction for different countries. So um as you said, it measures power distance. So the centers of unequal power distribution within a place is power distance before you can make use of the well thought about information system. Be able to understand how we can apply access controls, who should have what right, who should not be able to do what in the system at the rest. I apply things like decision making for different levels in system because in some not some most brands have different hierarchy of access or different hierarchy of power. That's called access controls. So as you said, it also measures individualism and collectivism of the users. So it measures it's meant for a personal or a group orientation. And what phase is meant for a personal interaction or orientation, and it determines things like individual dashboard versus collaborative team tools and the rest. So it also measures different things like you said, masculinity and femininity, the uncertainty avoidance, the long-term versus short-term goals, and the indulgence versus resistance, all qualified as risk tolerance. Um, is what the Austin model actually measures when we talk about the Austin model in GIS. So are we there? Hello people. Hello people. Do you have any questions so far? Can I be heard, please? Hello, can I be heard, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Should I ask questions or who wants to ask a question? Should I ask questions or who wants to ask a question? Nobody's talking to me. No fair. Hello. Are we together, everyone?
Yes, please. If you can, everyone, you can please unmute your mic to speak. Please engage our trainer. Let's engage the trainer, please.
I should call him and ask questions. Michael. Michael, should I call him and ask questions? Eh? Lawal. Lawal, what do you understand by the JIT model for logistics? Sorry? Hello, who wants to
It's a
answer?
global information system.
What do you understand by JIT for in logistics, the application of GIS in logistics? What do you understand by JIT? Who wants to help Lawal? So, Junior, Robam, Chijoke, don't tell me I've been talking to myself since. Should I continue? Should I continue or we should go for a break? Ah,
No, the break should be by 12.
we are not going for a break. We are continuing. No break.
Okay, thank
We
you.
continue.
So the break is
We
for
continue.
12. 12 to 12:30. So please keep that in mind.
No, no. So we're finishing the class by 12 because actually have something to do. So we're finishing the class by 12. And I'm
All right.
trying to
Okay, that's
be
fine.
done with the class. Yeah. All right. So basically, we're talking about applications of GIS to different sectors and different means. So when we talk about global teams, GIS for global teams, what do they do? Global teams build systems, manage data, and ensure security. Now, um, 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 key roles like IT leadership, regional IT, infrastructure applications, data governance, security, and the rest. These are the players of what of a global information system in team. They are responsible for designing, implementing, managing, and securing the global information system. Now, um, the best practices when managing sorry, please just a minute. So the best practices when managing global information system teams include culture, respecting the culture. There should be cultural awareness. Because remember that global things. The same thing that an Indian man could do, not something that a Nigerian man could really benefit, but there should be what a respect of culture across global teams. Um, use communication tools. So because of the fact that you are not all in one place on one continent, there should be decision team the perfect communication tools to use what aid was collaborative and partnership. Um, Open collaboration, as we said, the communication tools is going to determine um, how collaborative the teams could be and rest. Set clear goals and rewards. There should be defined clear rules and goals for everyone in with the team. So that everybody that at every point we know what it is to do when there's something about not necessarily people saying because they're not seeing each other, don't know what to do or work stalling because of the fact that there's a break in communication between the team members global. There should be what clear rules that are set and what rewards and punishments too for meeting and not meeting respectively your goals. So there should also be what a conflict resolution system that would but there's no way that human beings uh, um, work in truth that will not be conflict. But so global teams should also think of what of a conflict resolution system to settle disputes and mutually agree on different decisions that are seeming to be um, affecting business focus and progress. So define the rules of every team member. Every team member should at least have clear rules, as we said before, and responsibility across all functional areas, from security to infrastructure. So talk about the cross-functional organizations, cross-functional enterprises. The cross-functional organizations are just breaks down department silos and foster collaboration between different functions. So these are just different departments that work together. For example, in a system now, or in a bank or in a finance system now, where the IT team works hand in hand with the finance team, they're working hand in hand with the marketing team, and there are no just silos between that goes around and around and around and around, but it actually goes and flows between different um, brands, information or data can flow to different department within the organization and and is needed to actually each is department are needed to function interoperability so that um, things can continue to go on without problems. So the benefits are diversity in generating innovative ideas, streamlined communication, eliminates redundancies. So uh, if you have a diverse team that's actually innovative too, a lot of innovation can still come out from because that they're just trying to even get to make their work more seamless and connect their departments even more seamlessly. So teams can quickly mobilize their resources, their vast perspectives lead to well-rounded decisions. And opportunities for cross-functional work boost employee morale and engagement, literally. Because the more you talk to different people from different departments, the more you're having more engagement, somehow morale boost for within the company or the brand that you find yourself. So we continue to talk about the what's that? Yeah, so what's that too? Can I continue? Can I
Yeah,
continue,
please,
please?
please go on. Please go on.
All right, just a minute, please. Just a minute, please. Okay, okay, just a minute, please. All right, so confirm you can see my screen. All right, so we're talking about the types of cross-functional enterprise structures. Um, the um, how different departments actually get to function across departments, the definable levels of 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 structures that connects like different departments or eight different data shared between um, cross departments or as the name says, professional enterprises. So the matrix organization is a type of structure that involves dual reporting. So employees report to both functional manager and a project manager, and there's efficient resource allocation in that. So there's a matrix organization, even if it's a platform, a web platform where somebody logs in. So it's a report that goes in to maybe his manager and a project manager. So that's like a matrix from different levels to from one level to another level, one level to another level. And so that is a type of professional enterprise structure that part of different information systems. There's the network organization structure. Network organization structures are more flexible and centralized. They include employees, partners, and suppliers collaborating using technology. So there could be a portal of the brands that have their portal all way from suppliers to customers to workers all log in there to do their work. And every work when a customer orders is seamlessly notified by a person that inside the company and the vendor will be able to easily get officials and everything and respond to the orders and like that. That's what's called the network organization structure, where there's a more decentralized and flexible collaboration um, um, technology going on there. Then there's the global enterprise model, where for brands that operates was across multiple countries and regions, um, um, they use cross-functional teams. Proflat uses giants to manage global operations and ensure compliance. So it's not because of the marketing in Lagos might be different from the marketing or the steps to take marketing in London, or different brands. Apple brand could market in Lagos, but what's the same culture that is being taken note of that is also used to apply for marketing in other countries. Those are the things that would um, cover or talk about the global enterprise model for professional enterprise. Then the project-based enterprise are more of the models or structure that talks about creating departments all for a project, and I'm having just like using your Trello, your 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 Salesforce and the rest for a particular project to keep track of whatever or the project-based enterprise structures. Then there's the agile organization, which adapts quickly using more professional teams to deliver products in short iterative cycles. So more of microservices. So using special using specialists for their for specialists for specially purposes and according to the microservices that have been put at that point. So where everything is uh, uh, iterative, that is short cycles, and changes are actually more done faster because I mean there are more hands working into it at once. So so let's talk about the International Space Station and now cross-cultural collaboration can be seen in action in such a body. Now, the International Space Station is a, is a is owned by different countries in different continents. It's not in one country own or manage something. So I mean that there are different cultures that cut across that, but you have is being managed. So five space agencies representing 15 nations have worked together to build and maintain the ISS. One of the greatest examples of cross-functional collaboration in history. The lesson for ISS that effective cross-cultural collaboration requires inclusive leadership, shared communication, and commitment to building trust across cultural boundaries. You wonder why is it that not even the countries that are fighting war, their members are still part of this international situation. You wonder why war or the rest will not affect things like that because when we talk about global teams, all every other thing should be secondary because we are trying to achieve something that is what on a more global scale and more important to gain than whatever it is that I might be struggling for. So we've talked about we just want to mention the key terms in what we just talked about now from culture, which is the belief and behavior of shared by a group organization, to organizational culture, to personal culture, to cross-functional enterprise, to data interoperability, which will be coming up so much in this discussion about how data can be interact, can operate um, seamlessly across different platforms. And the global IS team, define what the global IS team is. For examples, I will see now what should be considered when generating or creating a global information system team. So um, so the real world application of GIS, let us see some brands that have actually applied what do you call it, GIS in their day-to-day business models, after that. So, for example, Tesla has developed an OTA software um, that delivers what software updates across countries. We just anytime there's an update for a car, maybe Tesla releases update 3.0, we just a push from from the the workshop and acceptance by the user, your car can be updated automatically. That's more of the global system things for easy communication. Then you mentioned things like Nike that tracks Nike is a big brand that goes from production to retail to wholesale and the rest. But yeah, they're able to track every raw material from different parts of their supplying countries to their worldwide stores where they actually get to tailor this material and almost showcase them in boutiques and whatever case may be. So people like FedEx, UPS, DHL are people that apply GIS in logistics and they visualize data um, through GIS to achieve even better logistics outcome that saves time, fuel, and even cost of transportation. So people like Starbucks, which is a company, the and even other people like Domino's and friends, I think, and Child Deck and rest have been able to use GIS and geographic information systems to map life for foodies that want to eat food and make it easy, better. So people like Toyota uh, have integrated um, manufacturing, distribution, and sales globally, where they could have manufacturing um, 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 stations or workshops across different countries, and they have compiling or assembling workshops too across different countries. So with the help of GIS, they're able to communicate at what point you needed to actually seamlessly um, have different different what happened now? Different workshops, but all achieving the same final product of the Toyota is with the help of the implementation of GIS systems. And people like Netflix use big data and ML to that is machine language to recommend content to users worldwide based on viewing behaviors across cultures. You mentioned about how some technologies of that. So um, this is relative actually. Um, by the numbers, we talked about uh, people like Dubai having over 130 plus global information system initiatives that helps to keep Dubai running. We mentioned about three types of logistic models that GIS helps to implement, just like the 3PL, the GIT, and the hub spoke. We mentioned about seven types of e-business models that GIS is supposed to build, things like the B2C, business to customer, business to business, customer to business to government, government to business, and government to customer. They're all types of business model that GIS can also supposed to develop. Steps to designing this, we mentioned that there are 9 steps to take when designing a GIS infrastructure. Who can remind us 9 steps? Who can remind us the 9 steps? Hello, who is there? Nobody can remind us of the 9 steps. I will say she first of all, okay, identify risks, determine it. We mentioned all those things. So, but anyhow, let's continue. Um, we also mentioned about the Austin cultural dimensions for higher designs. And we mentioned that there are actually 6 points to look out there. What Austin standard helps to measure, and how it measures it, and what should be focused on when trying to design an IS system. So, I also talked about 5 cross-functional enterprise structures that GIS could also help us to generate to also build. We talked about IT, financing, marketing, and different other things that talk about the risks and the rest. So, are we there? We must be ending this class soon. Hello, are we there?
Yes,
Hello, who can see my
Yes, we
screen?
see.
We are with you.
These
We
are
are with you, sir.
yeah, these are questions for us to ask and answer ourselves. And when you answer, you're going to also try to explain why your answer is that. So the first one is let's try to understand what you have done so far, sir. This we'll be talking for almost 2 hours. Let's try to understand and understand what you have been talking about. So How does the GIS enhance global collaboration and surmount geographic obstacles? Who can answer that? How does the global information system enhance global collaboration and surmount geographic obstacles? Who can answer that? Hmm? Nobody wants to answer that. Should I call names? If you can see my screen, I have picked the one that you want to answer it. Should we do it like that? Pick the question that you want to answer yourself and start and raise up your hands so that you can call it to answer it. You can all see my screen, can't we? Hello, where are the people in the class now? Please answer me. Pick
Yeah.
the questions from and answer the one you want to answer. Just speak to anyone. I will throw more light on it if we are not getting it to them right. I should call people. Should I call people?
So for me, I will require time to digest what you have taught, because um it will for me is quite new and I will need time to digest.
Okay, can you hear me? Can we hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear
All
you.
right.
That
All right.
yes. So on that first question, enhancing global collaboration, I think what the answer would just be like having a shared geographic framework that will allow businesses, government, NGOs, individuals to exchange data, then visualize the projects they are doing by using some tools, some global sharing tools. Then the solutions being worked on can be coordinated across all regions and borders. You understand it? And this will help to support collective decision making, real time mapping, and transparency and the
Exactly.
services or projects to be developed.
Exactly. Now, so we see with GIS, because GIS is actually um, more culture friendly, more language aware, more culture aware. Yeah, you can get to build what teams from different countries, regions, and what achieve what um, 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 with auto translators on platforms. People can be communicating with Japan partners, Japan colleagues, South Africa colleagues, ground everywhere, all from with your own convenience on your own language. So with this, with GIS, we can enhance what more collaboration and what we don't care about what barriers like language barriers and application barriers or time differences because all these are all taken care of or considered in the structure of the GIS. So yes, so what sets GIS apart what sets GIS apart from traditional IS regarding scope of operation? What sets GIS apart from traditional regarding scope of operations? Who can remember what traditional IS is?
The geographical part of it. So
Okay,
yeah,
yes. So traditional IS is more of local labels, more of really a department, more of within this particular structure. But the fact that GIS is more global, wider, it could be company wider, it could be region wider, and everything. So yeah, the scope, the, as you said, the scope of it is exactly what sets it apart. So yes, thank you very much. So what is the first
Then
step when
also,
designing?
yeah, hello, sir. Also,
Yes,
sir, we talked about questions. I think we should also include the differences between the type of information. For that of global GIS, the information involved are very complex and most times sensitive, while that of traditional is geolocated and
mm-hmm.
more or less singular in terms of complexities of information involved or
Yeah,
data when
very,
comparing GIS to that of traditional.
traditional. Yes, actually, traditional is more structured. It's more structured. It's also structured that yes, paper. But the giant is will be more complex. It will be depending on format, depending on systems, depending on different. We start talking about API integration. Start talking about JSON. Start talking about structured data as rest. So yes, thank you very much for that. So the type of data too that is being exchanged or that is being generated is also something that sets it apart. Thank you very much. Round of applause, please. I'm enjoying this too. So um so so what was the first step when designing the GIS infrastructure?
Now the project needs, like conducting a need assessment.
Exactly,
Probably purpose and objective, stuff like that.
Yes, exactly. That's a need assessment.
exactly. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So um yes, so the project you should be doing a need analysis. Yes, that you're all correct. Yes, about that the first you have to first of all understand the problem, what it is that you're trying to work on. Yes, the need analysis is the first step when designing GIS infrastructure. Yes, so which feature of GIS can help organizations improve decision making and identify new business prospects? Which feature of GIS can help organizations improve decision making and identify new business prospects? Which feature of GIS?
Mm, yeah, it will be the analysis and the visualization process.
Sorry?
The ability to analyze data and present the result in a visual board helps organization to identify more business process and enhance decision making. That's the data analysis and the visualization helps organization to make decision and seek business prospects.
Okay. Okay. Mm. Which feature of GIS can help organizations with decision making and identify business prospects? So, so which feature of GIS? All right, so this question is a bit tricky. Like, what is the feature of GIS that can help organizations improve decision making and identify new business prospects? I could talk about. I could also say it's like also the um culture feature that could determine the different marketing that can be applied at different locations um, around the different parts of the world, whatever. So this features there is no one. I'm not sure there's one answer to this question and everything. So number five, what's the primary focus of the just in time, the JIT? We talked about that time. What's the primary focus of the just in time logistics model?
That's real-time monitoring.
Sorry?
Minimize
Sorry,
inventory and
hello?
Yeah, the
hello?
real-time monitoring, just in time, real-time monitoring.
Yes,
Yeah, we can hear you.
yes.
Minimize inventory and waste.
I
Also,
think that's the second
Hello?
person. Yes, what do you say, please?
Minimize inventory and waste.
Minimize inventory and waste.
And waste by receiving goods and only the needed production process.
We choose
materials arriving at the right time.
Okay,
how we take real-time monitoring.
okay.
Yes, real-time monitoring of goods and services.
Okay, so the primary focus of the GIT logistics model is actually primary focus is actually on demand order, on demand order. So the fact that it's when you need it that you require it, you get it, go for it is is the primary focus. Hello, hello, hello. Can
Hello,
you hear
sir.
me? Yeah, do you hear me? I said the primary focus of the GIT model is the on-demand order, the on-demand order availability of the service is the primary focus of every GIT logistic model. So yes, all you guys are all correct. But the primary focus is that is when you need it, it should be available for you. Is the first primary focus that is what their priority is all about. So thank you very much, everyone. That's my contribution. So how does culture affect technology adoption in organizations? How does culture affect technology adoption? What can you tell me with any maybe scenario, anything? With a scenario, anyone can talk with a scenario, can talk with a story, can share anything. If you have any experience of any effect, any experience, you can talk about it and share. Hello, hello, can you hear? Hello, hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I thought somebody was speaking. Huh? I thought somebody was speaking. I thought we were going to tell us how culture affect technology adoption in organizations. I say if you want to share, talk, if you want to talk with any experience or any story at all, feel free. Or anything that you believe that something that was shared about culture, maybe in any branch of experience or you even suspect or you think about. Anybody? Hmm?
Oh, sorry, I'm muted. Yes, I've been talking since I didn't know I was muted. Yes, on that,
Sorry.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So on that culture and technology adoption, it's something that is very prevalent in this part of our world. because I've done a comparative project between same African countries on open distance and e-learning with civic sector. I did that for Nigeria and I did that for some Francophone countries. And something was very, very apparent in the Nigerian context. And the sense that despite they've already heard of the technology, the use of flexible learning technologies, learning management systems, tablets to access education. Funny enough, when it was being promoted within the TVET sector in Nigeria here, the attitudes of the regulators, institutions, including the rectors, the management, and the HODs and deans, were at different powers. Comparing regions, south to the north, even within south, southwest to the east, and to the middle, to the south-south. So when we promoted this project between 2015 to 2019, behold, COVID struck. When COVID struck, we were still monitoring polytechnics in Nigeria on how many of them have adopted open distance and e-learning. We still discovered through our initial audit assessment we did for polytechnics, the southern polytechnics were quick to adopt Zoom. If you remember then during that COVID, Zoom was the first tool that was adopted within institutions. Southern polytechnics adopted it first before that of the northern polytechnics. Then and then, another factor that was blamed for it was infrastructure readiness. In the south here, there are more technology access. There are more access to technological tools like internet, tablet, based on affordability or economic parity. But in the north, the reverse was the case. So technology adoption plays a long way based on the regional context, vis-a-vis culture, attitudes, the openness to innovation, and the willingness of the academics or the employees or individuals or nations to even adopt those technology tools. So in this part of the world, those are the main barriers compared to other parts of the world. That was my personal experience when I promoted the open distance and e-learning for the TVET sectors.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Round of applause for last night. That was really exciting to me. I was very relatable. But I think brought about a lot of culture drift between different brands. Thank you very much for that. So because of time and because of words it is that we want to do, we've come to the end of class. These are the key takeaways that we should have at the back of our mind. Can we hear me, please? Hello? Hope I'm not muted. Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Alright, so these are the key takeaways of the global systems that we've been able to talk about today. So we talked about how GIS are the backbones of international operations, enabling collaboration, decision making, and innovation across borders. We've determined how GIS differs from traditional IS in scope, data types, and integration capabilities. Handling structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data globally is what GIS tries to solve. Now, GIS infrastructure requires 9 key design steps and must address interoperability, security, scalability, and resilience challenges. E-business models like B2C, B2B, G2C, C2C, and the rest are global logistics strategies are essential for competitive global operations when setting up any brand as royalties. Now, culture deeply influences technology adoption, and organization must assess cultural dimensions using framework like Austin model before um, analyzing or determining the uh, principle SOPs to adopt in different parts of the world. And global IS teams and cross-functional enterprises break down silos, enabling the diverse, agile, and globally competitive organizations. That's what we'll be able to deduce from our discussion today. And
That's a complete summary of the key takeaways.
sorry about that. And any other questions? Any other questions? What's the end of today's class? Any other questions? Hello. Any other questions? Any other questions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. I said other
Hello, sir.
questions. Right? Yes, please.
Yes, I have a question. I wanted to ask this. Upon the completion of this TCBT DIS diploma, what
I didn't get that.
certifications,
I didn't get that.
global certifications or other global certifications can one enroll for across cybersecurity, cloud, and any other field in IT?
All right. So
I said upon completion of this TCBT. Hello?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I said upon the completion of this TCBT diploma on information and systems, what other global certifications can one enroll for across cloud, cybersecurity, and other fields in IT?
All right. So I'm about answering that with ISOs. So if you can get some ISO certifications, especially ISO 5000, 5004, ISO is the 5000 about power security, ISO is in corporate governance um, of IT and the rest. ISO certifications are also something that you can look into, that you can also talk about. You know about ISO, right?
Yes, yes.
So ISO
International
certifications
Standard Organizations. Yes.
yeah, so ISO certifications are something you can also look into for that. Depending on what you want to be a certified on, or as there are different of it, as certifications you have to pick up and take. Is that answered?
Yes, yes.
Any other questions, please?
Why don't you collect the key? I'm okay.
Thank you, Makana.
All right, thank you. So with that, we have come to the end of today's class, and I hope to meet you all some other day. I'll be dropping my I'll be dropping my X account on the chat box. Feel free to follow me and reach out to me at any time you have any discussion um to make. So just permit me to drop my X account right. You can reach me on there, and sometimes I actually drop some information concerning the IT space and league of it. So if you're X, do want to follow me Uh, subscribe. Listen. But I mean, I don't have nothing else to say. I'm going while I get to that. Hello, admin.
All right. Thank you so much. Our trainer, let's appreciate our trainer in the chat box. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much. I'm not saying let's appreciate the trainer. Please, am I audible?
Yes, you can. Yes, you are. Go on, please.
All right. Thank you so much. It was nice having you with us, Mr. Praise. So please don't forget to fill in your attendance form, the feedback form, and the test link, which will be dropped on Monday. So please ensure you take your test. To get to get your certificate on this program, please do not forget to pay your registration fee of 10,000 naira. Other informations, the bank accounts, and every other details will be sent to the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please do have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.